It's not loud, is it? Can you hear it? Does it sound okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
I could always use this if I need to.
Yeah, that sounds worse.
Okay. I was just making sure. You need a guitar hanger. I have one on my table for some reason.
Okay, I might, because I got a new guitar.
Oh, that's nice.
And
Have you done a video on it yet? Excuse me.
It just went live this morning. Yeah, this morning.
Oh, wow.
But I was thinking about moving that, seeing if I could fit both of them in that little hole right there.
Yeah.
So what do you think about my fit? Like before, I've done a couple interviews lately, but the camera's been right above my laptop. And so I was looking like up here or looking down here, actually. Anyways, now the camera's off to the side. And I thought, well, if I just look over.
Should you, because the way I have you is my screen is literally right below my lens. So that way I can look at you and it still somewhat looks like I'm looking at you. Or I'm looking at the camera.
Right. That's what I had.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that bad. I was just trying something different today. Let's see if I can get it. Oh, you should see what I got set up here. I got a hamper, a couple boxes.
I mean, you're gonna feel better about your setup when you see mine in just a second. I don't have anything to like properly elevate my computer, so this is what I do. I literally found a gingerbread house kit in our church kitchen, and then I'm using two of our Bibles that we give away.
You gotta plant yourself on the Word, you know.
That's right. This computer is planted on the Word of God. That is absolutely right.
This is what I have.
Hey, how about we do this?
Okay.
Right now, you need to put that on Instagram, and I'm gonna put mine on Instagram.
So you're gonna put mine. I'm putting yours.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna put mine.
You put yours, and I'll put mine. That makes sense. I was just making sure we're talking about the same thing. I'll tag you. Okay, mine went live. Mine's posted.
Yeah.
Oh, you actually did a post. You did a post. I did a story.
I do stories occasionally, but man, that's worthy of a post right there.
I always have stuff on my shirt too, like lint or something, and I can't see it in the. I need a worship leader hangout shirt. That's what I need.
This was our first.
Are there others? There's a new one.
Messed up. It looks vintage when it's not supposed to. I got some coming that we're trying out from Teespring that has this on the front, so it's kind of like that staff look, and then on the back it has always learning special way.
Worship leaders always learning. I'm gonna start doing that at the end of all my videos.
I hear that's a thing.
I've actually been trying to think of something for months, and I was like, I can't do it. I should start watching your videos. You got a YouTube channel?
I do.
We should start this video. We should start this video.
We really should start this video.
Okay, let's start. What are you drinking?
Something in this cup.
Okay.
All right. Let me explain. I don't drink soda hardly at all. If I do, it's mostly those sparkling ices because they're like incredible.
Yeah.
But this is Coke Zero because that's what we have in the kitchen at the church because my studio's at the church, and I just spilt it all over my desk.
And you had
look what I got though.
You had paper towels right there. That's amazing.
I have a paper towel. Hey, you never know when you're gonna spill your Coke. Anyway, but yeah, I'll let you start the video. Hopefully, this makes it in the video.
Oh, it will. All this has actually just been the video.
This is just the video.
This is the longest intro ever.
Are you doing a little logo?
I don't know. I might. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't.
Just whatever the stars bring you.
Oh, somebody messaged me the other day. I just remembered. They said they would animate my logo for like.
Oh yeah. For
an expanse pack or something. I was like, heck yeah, but I forgot to respond. So now I need to respond.
Yeah, respond to that. Dude, that would be awesome. I just used here, start the video so you can roll your logo.
Let's start the video.
And then I'll tell you.
Here's the beginning. You ready?
Yeah. That's how I start all my videos.
Today I have a special guest with me, Chad from Worship Leader Hangout. And today we're just gonna hang out because that's what we do.
I'm excited about it.
How are you, Chad?
I'm doing really well. Yeah, everything's good though. We're actually, my studio, if you don't watch our channel, is at the church.
Wait a second. You have a YouTube channel?
I do have a YouTube channel.
What is it? What is that?
Yeah, if you want to actually see what I do and what David does on our channel, it's called Worship Leader Hangout right here on YouTube.
I'll link it below.
Yeah, thank you.
Because most likely people have heard of my channel, but they may have not heard of yours. So I'm glad to have
you
on
watching. Here. Yeah, if they're watching your video, I hope so.
To get the word out, let people know there's a new YouTube channel starting called Worship Leader Hangout. I was actually going to ask you about that. So if you've never heard of it, I'm actually joking because it's a rather large channel compared to this channel, and I was going to ask you a list of questions since we're hanging out.
Yeah.
So just so we can get to know each other, which we already know each other, but all of us.
Yeah, we can all get to know each other.
Yeah. But as a small YouTuber, how has the journey been from seeing your channel grow the way it has? Like, as a worship leader, anything that you want to mention about that?
Yeah. It's been really cool. I mean, so our channel is not, we're not full-time or anything like that into YouTube. I mean, I think if we were, would it grow? Yeah, I think it would grow. It would grow much faster. I think it would be a whole thing. But the way I look at it is, if my YouTube channel is Worship Leader Hangout, I really want to be a worship leader for that to make sense. And if I'm not a worship leader, it just doesn't make sense to me. I know there are channels out there that focus on worship related content, whether it is, guitar tutorials or tech tutorials or just all kinds of stuff. And some of those guys do lead worship on the side, or they're a part of something, but it's not, they don't do that full time. David is my collaborative partner, I guess you could probably put him, one of the founding partners of Worship Leader Hangout.
And I've still never officially met him.
So David is an incredible person, an incredible friend, and incredible keyboardist. And we met in college, just became really good friends. And we both were the MD of a gospel choir. And so I was MD for a little bit, and then he came in, and then I left, and he was MD. And just we became friends through that. And so David, I called him up one day back in 2011, I think, 2012. And I said, hey, what you think about doing some Google Hangouts with me talking about worship leading stuff? Because we both had just got our first jobs as worship leaders, and we just wanted to learn from each other and learn from whoever as well. So what we're doing right now was the original idea for Worship Leader Hangout to be, and it just kind of grew and grew.
That's where Hangout came from, Google Hangout.
Yeah. Worship Leader Hangout. And it was, for probably 2 episodes, it was Worship Leader Hangouts. And then I was like, no, that sounds stupid. So, but yeah, now it's Worship Leader Hangout, and it has been since then, back then. So we did once a week. We just hopped on. That's why doing our podcast and our live streams are so fun, because it feels like what we did back in the day. And we just, we get on and we banter for a while. We have something we want to talk about. And it's just, it feels like that. And that's why, that is actually the main reason why we do that, is not to just entertain and not to give somebody something to listen to for 30 to 45 minutes, but for us, for our personal fulfillment, and also our learning from each other too. Yeah. So it's still the same as far as that part of it goes. He does piano tutorials, I do whatever else.
Whatever else.
And it's literally, sorry, I have a cough drop in my mouth, so if you hear that, it's literally called that on when I do the thumbnails for the videos. It's like David's thumbnails and everything else.
Whatever else.
I don't even put my name. It's like everything else, whatever. Yep.
That's awesome. Y'all recently passed 100,000 subscribers. Got the plaque. That was awesome.
Almost a year ago now.
Isn't that crazy?
We did. We got. Oh yeah, it's in my office.
Was it over? Was it a year ago?
Yeah, May something, May 20 something, 2020.
I remember texting you, and I was like, "Dude, you're at like 99.999." You were watching the back end of it, and
yeah. And that, man, I was so upset because I'm sure you're gonna ask some YouTube questions. As a YouTuber, YouTube cut off being able to see your individual subscriber count on publicly. you can still see it privately, but you cannot see that live subscriber change up and down anymore. Like on Social Blade, they had a live counter.
Oh.
And man, I was upset because we watched that. I remember the day that we clicked over to 10,000.
Yeah.
I mean, we would watch that go up and down. And then when we blew up at the beginning of 2019, we put out a video called Davin's video, something gospel passing chords you should know. Put that video out. 3 weeks later, that thing started view after view after view, subscriber after subscriber. We both put out different videos here and there. That just super propelled our channel, and we didn't do anything but stay consistent. We had no idea that video would start a chain reaction.
Right.
And then we would go from, I think we were at 12,000, 13,000, something like that, to 1 year later, already over 100,000.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Congrats.
But yeah, we just love to do it, and we would do it if there were no money, but thank God there is a little bit of money in that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, man, that's awesome. Well, you mentioned something that's important to me too, and that's like helping worship leaders, but also being a worship leader in a local church. You know, that's for me is top priority as well. And so tell people who you are. Where do you serve?
So my name is Chadwick Van Buckland, and I serve at I'm the worship pastor is my official title at College Park Church, Greenville, South Carolina.
Subscribe to their YouTube channel.
Yeah, we do have one. Yeah. We just put sermons up mostly, but
yeah. Sometimes there's some music on there. You singing, right? Yeah.
We do allow our full live stream from the service to be on there, and then we like re-upload just a sermon only.
That's what our church does too.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of glad.
Yeah. I really do like the full live stream because it does allow me to go back and see, what that worship set and what that service looked like as a whole.
Yeah.
And to be able to self critique and analyze and make things better.
Yeah. So we keep ours too. We keep them unlisted, I think. And so there's a Google Drive.
Oh, no, ours are on there. If you want to see our worship set from last week, it's on there.
Oh, they're on there too. Gotcha.
Yeah. They're on. because it was live.
Yeah.
And people were here, so there's really no reason not to just keep it up.
Yeah.
Even if I sounded bad on a note or a section, like whatever,
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's real.
Yeah. So we pull ours back off, keep it unlisted, but use it as, like you said, like a resource. Like I can go back to it.
Yeah.
Help other worship leaders or on the team. You're like, hey, here's some stuff you can look at, and it's been really good. So what kind of personality are you? Are you into personality tests? Have you taken like an enneagram or Myers-Briggs?
It's really funny that you asked that. What was the second one that you said?
I said enneagram, Myers-Briggs. There's several out there. I don't know.
There was one where, yes, I will tell you. This is my hint. There's one where you get a name, like a type of personality. And the dude that I was, and they also you get this little not animated, but this little figure, like a person.
Yeah.
And mine was like this wizard looking dude.
You're the wizard.
No, it was like a long beard, like this. It was cool. I cannot remember the name of that one and where that one came from.
Was it 16personalities.com? Which is
yes.
That is Myers-Briggs, if I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it is? Okay.
It is. It's just like a smaller version of it. You can take like the big test and be super thorough, but yeah, that's a quicker version of the same test.
Pretty sure I took unless I have no idea what I'm talking about. It took me a little while to get it done.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was like this wizard looking dude.
Nice.
And but no, my enneagram, which doesn't. One thing I know about enneagram is that I don't think it does a great, unless there's some more that I don't know. I don't think it does a great job in showing like the personality side of your personality.
Right. Because
I think
it's actually not a personality test like those other ones. It's more
right.
of like who you are at the core, and that can work out in a lot of different ways.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Which I liked that though, because it's still played into anyway. I'm a number one on that.
Okay.
And I
Nice.
literally did that this past Wednesday.
Oh, did you
Today's
really?
Friday.
Nice.
Yes, I
That's
did.
that's
My intern was, we were talking about it and she was like, "Yeah, I'm a number 4, I think." I was like, "Okay, cool. What does that mean?"
what
And
does
she
that
was like,
mean?
"Well," so and I said, "Wait, don't tell me. Don't tell me at all. Don't tell me anything about it. I'll go take it and I want to see what I am."
Yeah, yeah.
So I do know, as far as enneagram, my pastor and I have different personalities, but as far as that goes, like I guess that core, we
Yeah.
both are a 1-2, which the 2 is like
One
where we
wing.
lean
Yeah, yeah.
the wing, yeah, wing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I got into looking at like one, when you're kind of in a growth period, you lean toward this number, which I
Yeah.
think was 7 for us, and then when you're sort of in a what was growth, and then what was the other one? Stressed.
Yeah.
When you're in that
Same.
stress
Yeah.
period, I think I was a 4, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
I've read
So
I've read some Christian books, and I like the terms like redeemed and unredeemed state of it, and thinking biblically about it. You know,
okay,
a lot of people have problem with the Enneagram, but I've had
I
some
don't know.
people I've mentioned on the channel before, and some people will be like,
Yeah,
"Hey, that's Satan worship or something." But
you
um,
cannot live by stuff like that. I'm
yeah.
sorry. It is interesting, and I didn't see anything satanic about it. So
Yeah, well, that's because
unless they were thinking
That's because he's got you
horoscopes.
blinded. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
But no, yeah, no. It's super
uh,
helpful. I think, yeah, exactly. Like
it's interesting.
it's a tool to use to understand how God made you, or at least that's how I've used it, and it's been very beneficial to understanding people on my team and in my
Yep.
family, and yeah, it's cool. I'm a 9 wing 1, so we're
Oh, okay.
not the same. But
You're
pause,
yeah, pause.
pause.
Oh, your card's full.
Oh, I already deleted it.
You formatted it?
Let's pause. Yeah, I thought I did.
I'm gonna stop mine too. You tell me when we're ready to go back.
Okay. I mean, I'm still here.
Oh, I know.
I'm still here.
Hey,
Don't
we're
go.
still recording on Zoom anyway, but you
Don't
can
go.
cut this out.
Just don't say anything cool.
I won't say anything cool, but I'll show you one of my newest toys.
Oh, a gimbal. Dude, is it nice? Which one is it?
This is the Ronin, whatever the smaller one is, but the second edition of that.
Yeah, yeah. Have you used that much?
Not much. I wouldn't say much, but yeah, I have used it. We did a couple things where I wanted to.
I'm back.
We did a couple things where I wanted to use this.
Yeah.
And away from the studio. So yeah. So right now I was just balancing it because I put this bigger lens on. See that? If you don't balance it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There it goes. It's balanced and it's
Nice.
not even on. Yeah, I just got it because I've always wanted one. I bought one that started with an F back in a couple years ago, almost 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
It was a piece of trash. I threw it, or I didn't throw it away. I returned it and got my money back, and I bought a lens. And then I sold that lens and all my Nikon gear for Canon stuff. So yeah, that's where we are. But then I was like, there are several shoots that I'm doing soon where I could benefit from a gimbal, but I don't, as a quote unquote filmmaker, I don't want filmmaking gear to limit,
right,
or to cause me to not be creative in ways that I would have been more creative without the gear.
Right.
So, but yeah. But I got it because there's several things where, I want to push in on this, or I want to do this or that. And I'm like, okay, it probably would speed that process up, especially if I have it balanced. I know how to use it. And so I just, I used it the other day. I just had to get a couple push ins on a couple pieces of gear because I was talking about it in a video.
Right.
Video is not about gear, but I talked about it for a second. And I was like, that made it literally took me 3 minutes to get all that I needed. Whereas I would have spent like 3 minutes just on that one shot doing handheld. It really did help. But now my struggle is so petty. But now my struggle is, well, dang, my camera that I take with me has the Ronin base on it.
Yeah.
I got to switch it out when I want to use that camera on the monopod. It's so first world problems. But
I know. I got none of my stuff is image stabilized, so I've thought about getting one, but then I got the SL2 with this big Sigma lens, and there are the videos out there showing you how to put weights on the back of your camera, because it just, a lot of them won't scoot back enough for it to fit. And I was like, I don't think I need that right now. I'll just wait.
Yeah, you could put the money. I mean, that was only $500. You could put that other one, that piece of garbage, was like 7 something. I was so glad I got rid of that.
Really?
Ugh. Yeah.
This is my B-roll trick right here. I put my tripod on these little carpet sliders, and I just.
That's awesome. That's exactly what you should do. Now, I'll do 60 frames a second and then move at a moderate pace.
Yeah.
As long as it's in focus, then you can go back, slow it down, stabilize it, and it looks really good. Yes. But this, I don't know. I mean, seriously, no gear. Once I buy the gear, that does not mean it stays.
Right.
No gear is subject for me to be like.
Yeah.
No gear is not subject for me to just exit.
If you're gonna throw away any one of those, either one of the EOS R, just throw it away this way. Okay. I'll catch it.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, if you had any gear questions, that's what we do use is EOS Rs.
Yeah. What kind of camera?
David has 2 EOS Rs. David uses ADDs.
Okay, cool.
Oh, he has a T6i mounted up for top down.
For top down, yeah.
Yeah, nice. For his keyboard.
Yeah. I've been looking at the R just for the, and it's the lens. Love it. It's the lens that's
system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love the R stuff. Yeah. And then I have no plans unless one breaks. I have no plans to, go to R5 or R6 or whatever's coming out next. Like, I'm just going to use these for a long time and something breaks. Yeah. I like having 2 of the same. Because it really does. I keep one right here in the studio, and then one goes with me wherever. And that's, just to have 2 cameras, you have to have a reason to have a piece of expensive gear.
Right.
In me, I have to have a reason. I'm not just going to buy 2 cameras just because.
Right.
I ran this channel on 1 camera for so long. I could do it with 1 if I needed to, but.
I'm on the 1 camera situation. I've used my phone a couple times for like a top-down shot.
Yeah,
I didn't like it, but it is what's in the budget right now. But I've even thought about doubling up on this camera, and I already have lenses that I could use. Like that 50 mil is not too bad for some of the
50 mil is nice.
Yeah. And because this body. But it's actually more expensive now than it was when I bought it. Like the body's like 600 and something, but I'm pretty sure I only paid like 400 and something for the body only.
600 is, you know what? I bet that's just because
maybe I'm wrong.
Looking for inexpensive cameras, and they're running low on stock on them. I guarantee you that's what it is, because you can buy a 80D or a 90D body for that price range.
Yeah, I don't even see an SL2 right now on Amazon. It's all SL3. Which I purposely didn't go the SL3 route, even though it's 4K, because it didn't do 24 frames a second.
Wait, SL2, who makes that?
I have it's the Canon. So there was an SL, it's the Rebel line, it's the cheaper. So they had an SL1, SL2, SL3 is nicer. It's got some better upgrades, but it wouldn't do 24 frames a second in 4K, I think is what it was, or something. I don't know. And so I was like, I might as well save the extra $150 and just get the SL2, but. Anyways,
that uses EFS and EF lenses.
Yeah, it's just EF. It's just I don't have to have a mount for it's just the EF mount. Yeah. I don't have to have an adapter is what I meant. But yeah. Anyways, cool, man.
Gear done.
Gear done. It's over. I don't know that we ended the Enneagram conversation well.
We didn't, but.
I don't think we needed to talk.
I'm a 1, you're a 9, whatever.
Whatever. That's right. Worship leader question. What's the last song you taught your church?
This past week, Man of Your Word, Maverick City.
Yeah. It gets in your head.
Yeah, I love that song.
Did it go well?
It did. It went pretty well.
Yeah.
It's, it was a brand new song for him, so but our church tends to worship pretty much no matter what.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so, and we are, we kind of stem from the Pentecostal side of things. Our church is Church of God of Prophecy, which came directly out of the Church of God. So just to kind of show you that, but we are still within that denomination, but that's, we don't really put that out front as far as like, we are the blah, blah, blah Church of God of Prophecy, because I think in our state, excuse me, in our state, it just kind of has our church has kind of a weird, not weird, I don't want to say weird, it has a look of super small, super country, super unorganized. In other states, I don't want to speak for them, but in other states, Church of God of Prophecy is very organized. I mean, there's different, but it just kind of has that look, and we are changing that for our church,
So give us a brief. We talked about gear, but it was more camera gear. What kind of gear do you play? What do you lead from? What do you do? Who are you?
So I lead from, I guess it's really, really weird to say this now, but I lead from a microphone, and then probably every other week or every couple of weeks I'll lead from guitar, because that's what I started in 9th grade. I started playing guitar. I actually started playing saxophone in 6th grade, but I can't lead from that. But I lead from guitar typically. In college, I did take some piano proficiency. I only knew all of my scales and all of my keys and all of my triads by the time I got done with that, even though I had to read and do some different things, but still I got out of there as right underneath, where I needed to be, the minimum, and then, or right over the minimum really. And back in 2017, David came to Hangout and we did some videos together, and I said, dude, I want to play. He did some beginner videos, and I was like, I need to learn that. And so he actually showed me some extra stuff. And what was crazy is something he said or something he did, I literally was able to put my hands on the keyboard, utilizing all of that knowledge of understanding my scales in every key and my major, minor, and diminished triads in every key. As long as I knew that stuff, like doing the simple things he said, I started to become a pianist. Since then, and I've been working my tail off since 2017 to actually be a pianist and be able to lead from that. And the first Sunday after he left, I led a song from piano.
Wow.
And it was very simple, very simple. But now that's like, as far as a main instrument that I lead from, it's piano. But my main instrument as a musician is bass.
Slapping the bass, man.
Yeah. And that's where I like live as far as like my instrumentalist, that's where I guess was where I shine. Everybody has their instrument.
Your home base. Yeah.
So, but piano, like I was talking to David the other day, and I'm like, dude, how do you feel? Because his really for a long time was drums. Like he's an incredible pianist, but like I said, how did you like manage that shift in instrument in your mind? I mean, yeah, it's cool for everybody to be able to play all kinds of things, but you still, like, I get nostalgic and I get connected to something, and if I start going another direction, I'm like, I'm cheating on that, So that's me, and I'm probably just weird, and some people are like, dude, it's cool to be able to play all this stuff, but I'm like, man, how do you like wrap your head around that? And he's like, well, I mean, you have to look at it like God has you in a season right now, and right now you're learning keys and you're having to lead from keys, and he's using you in that, and you're getting better. And so don't look at it as neglecting your bass, but that you're adding on a skill that's going to make you more valuable.
Yeah.
But
that's
don't
good.
lose the bass, because practice. And then also I'm doing the same thing with drums as of this year. Cause I took some lessons. I knew basic stuff, but
yeah,
my first Sunday playing drums ever was 2 Sundays ago.
Wow. You did play drums?
I did play drums.
Did you lead? Did you have a mic in the kit?
Oh, heck no. No. We have other people that can do that.
Right.
My worship intern led that week, and yeah, it was great. Yeah, that's her. Yeah, we had a good time.
Awesome, man. So okay, so that's a good lesson.
Yeah, so sorry, that's a long, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good though. So I was gonna ask you, like, there was 3 different questions, but they might all go into one, or at least maybe 2 different answers. But wisdom you would share with upcoming worship leaders, coupled with what's your biggest aha moment in worship ministry? So I was answer that however you want, but I was thinking, like, if somebody was listening, they're a young worship leader, what would you tell them? And then in my mind, that might correlate with like that biggest aha moment you had in worship ministry. Like, oh, that's something I would definitely want to pass along.
Yeah. I think it does kind of have to do, one thing that I'm teaching my intern right now is, if you're just a vocalist, which I'm sure a lot of your guys are guitarists, and can play something, but if you're just a vocalist, you really have to have an instrument as a musician, as a worship leader, because you want to be able to sit down and lead anywhere at any moment on your instrument. And if everybody calls out, you're like, well, that's okay.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Because, and not only that, another that going along with the other thing is your set list, your best set list and your best times of worship, moments of worship, come out of your worship personally throughout the week, from my experience anyway. So having an instrument, having something that you can sit down on and be with God musically, we know there's other ways to be with God. There's prayer, there's reading, but musically, God has called us to music, so we have to spend time with him musically. I say you've got to have an instrument. You can't rely on somebody else to play something and you get into a moment of worship to where you're hearing from God. He's showing you songs. He's maybe even giving you your own lyrics for things. And like, you got to be able to play an instrument, and you got to be able to make time to spend time with God in those moments, so that way you can like build sets and build worship things for your congregation.
Yeah.
Be open to different things. And so that's a big deal, is spending that time in those moments, because honestly, not everybody wants to do just your favorite songs. There's a balance between like picking songs for your congregation that are good for your congregation, and then also picking songs that God has just kind of showed you through your own times of worship that you need to feed your congregation and say, hey, check this out.
Yeah.
And, so there's a balance though, because if it's just all coming from you and what you like, then it may not translate to them as well. So there's a balance there. Not that you're going to go around and say, what exact song do you want to do? We'll do it next week. Okay.
Right.
Like, I mean, you can get input. I think input from multiple sources is very helpful to see what they're listening to, if anything.
Yeah.
But anyway, those are 2 big things. Of course, those come with time and word, prayer.
Right. Yeah. I was gonna say, like, the first thing about having an instrument, learning an instrument, that's going to make you a better band leader for your volunteers. Anyways, I mean, I was just talking last night with Graham, and I was talking about, man, years ago when I was first getting into it, I looked at a drum kit and thought, those are drums, and that's all I knew.
Yeah.
I didn't know what a snare, a tom, kit, like I had no idea the names of the pieces, and so I didn't know how to communicate to a drummer. And really same with keyboard player. I just played my acoustic guitar. That's all I knew, and half the time I didn't even know what I was playing. I just picked up on chords, and so that really helps. And then the second thing you're talking about, like being interactive with your congregation to know what songs land well, Like, I think it builds trust as a worship leader when you're at least open to that stuff. That doesn't mean, like you say, like somebody asked me the other day, they messaged me and it's like, man, I had somebody come up to me and say, hey, you should do this song next week. What should I say? And I was like, well, first of all, I have a process for how we vet songs into our library. And so I will gladly take any and all song suggestions and educate them how serious I take my job, and that, yes, I'll put it in the pipeline and we'll see if it comes out the other end. Cause there's a lot of criteria that I put our songs through to see if they actually make it into our library. So, and I think bringing your congregation, your people along in that process opens their eyes up to, oh yeah, he doesn't just pick out songs willy-nilly. Is that what they say? They don't
willy-nilly.
Yeah. They don't just pick out songs willy-nilly. But there's a process, and it's thought through and prayed through. And so, yeah, that's a good word, man.
Yeah. But also making sure that you spend time with God in that.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And by yourself, not just with your team, but also by yourself.
Yeah.
There's things that happen when you're alone with God.
Yep.
And so, yeah, quiet time and prayer, reading, and music.
Okay, one more question. One more of these questions. In this set of questions. This is going to be a 4-hour video.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. Biggest never do it again moment in worship ministry.
Cuss somebody out from the stage. I'm just kidding. I've never done that.
That's just, you don't have to have again on that. That's just
yeah, no, that's not again, but just never do that. Yeah. You know, it's funny that I say that because it just came to mind. Like, I think are you talking about on a Sunday?
It's generic. Yeah, I was thinking from stage or maybe even as a leader. Maybe it's with your team.
Let me say from stage. Maybe you didn't cuss people out, but maybe you kind of blessed out your congregation and basically said, "You're not worshiping. You need to worship." I've heard way too many worship leaders do that, especially in youth ministry. And it's like, they don't even know how or what this means.
Yeah.
Why don't you as a worship leader, why don't you be a teacher?
Ooh. Yes.
Rather than making them feel bad for not even, like, okay, I'm not singing because I don't even know what I'm singing for.
Right.
You know, you have to encourage them. I mean, if anything, you're like, if you don't know what to say in that regard, and if they're not worshiping, just be like, like, God is here this morning. He is so worthy to be praised.
Yep.
And that's what we're going to do this morning. Tell them what they're going to do.
Yeah.
That's what we are going to praise him with. All we are right now. And whether they like really catch on, I mean, some worship leaders thrive on like a lot of response, like physical response, but you just never know. There's some of the quietest people that come to you later and just be like, "Oh my gosh, that song ministered to me like you don't believe."
Wow.
And so, yeah, I don't ever want to gauge a worship set on physical response, audible response alone.
Right.
Because you just never know.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say. Never do that from stage, or from anywhere really, but from stage, because then they're just gonna you have no right to tell me that I'm worshiping or not.
Right.
You don't know what's going on in my heart right now. So look at it from the complete opposite direction and be like, wow, God is so good. He's so worth. Can we just worship together? Like, you know what I mean?
Man,
so it just encourages.
Yeah. I mean, you saying that, it's funny because I hadn't even thought about this in a while because I don't think it's been an issue or whatever. But as soon as you were like saying that, it brought me back to me sitting in a church and hearing a worship leader kind of lay that guilt trip on and how off-putting that was. Yeah. And then the biggest, and I'm not patting myself on the back, but just to confirm what you're saying, I was leading worship at it was a really small church, and it was their, it was like a little revival, something they were doing. And I came in with acoustic guitar and led for a few nights, and the guest speaker came up and he was like, "Man, I just love the way you lead worship because you just worship and invite us to come along with you." Mm-hmm. And I was like, at first I was like, I wonder Is that a compliment? Yeah, I hope it is.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah. And I
No, it
think it
definitely
was.
is.
And I've that those words, which is years ago, have stuck with me. Like, yeah, my job is not to preach at people what they should be doing, but bringing them along and teaching them, leading worship leader, leading them into what they should be doing in a way that is inviting. And like you said, telling them what they're going to be doing, what we are doing together, why this moment is different and special, and who God is. And it sheds light and vision on, oh yeah, this moment is different. He's not just looking for me. Because that's the other thing, is that when I've seen people respond, like a worship leader respond to a congregation that way, it's usually out of the vanity metrics, if you will, of seeing people raise their hands or whatever, and they're not seeing enough, so they assume worship isn't happening, and they respond often out of ignorance. So yeah, that's a good word.
Yeah, that's just young, like, well, some older people can do it too, but that's just that mindset of like, man, they're too focused on the, sorry, hold on.
You're putting it in focus.
Oh my gosh. No, my card got full. Hold on. I really did want to say something. Oh, no, we're good. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, the card is full. Hold on.
Pause.
Won't take me but a second.
Man,
I started right after you.
You were about to say something really good, weren't you?
I was. All right, next question. I remembered up until you said that, and I'm like, crap, what was I going to say? Yeah, you have to bring them along. You're never going to like see genuine worship if you're being too focused on what they're doing,
the external thing,
and not being focused on because you're like, you should be worshiping as well as reading but you should be worshiping instead of focused on like, oh my gosh, Susan still looking down, not even like don't worry about Susan.
Yeah.
Encourage Susan. Man, it's been a hard week, hasn't it, people?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? God's amazing. I mean, if you do like to talk. If you don't like to talk and worship, well, maybe try to get better at like communicating and exhorting, but also you don't have to if you don't really need to. Just worship, and people come along.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think a lot of people would probably want to talk more, or maybe they talk too much, but would want to be more specific on what they should say. And I think these are good tips for that as well. Like
scripture,
and encourage your people to do what they should be doing in the moment.
But and you said the other way is regarding your team would be almost the exact same thing. Don't ridicule or talk down to the entire team for something terrible, especially as a whole team. Same thing with individuals. Somebody, and like, all right, first of all, you do have to set a culture of, okay, if you're in a rehearsal, this is rehearsal. If I need to correct something musically, that is not a character flaw. That is not I'm not pointing you out personally. Like, it's just a music situation, and this is our job right now, is to fix the music. Now, if somebody does start acting silly about certain things, or they bring a bad attitude, then we pull them aside. But if I need you to fix a piano part, you cannot wear your feelings on your sleeve, or you won't last long in this team. I mean, that's just the way it is, because I want to be able to, just like my orchestra director in college, basses, I didn't like that part the way you played it. Let's tighten up on this. You can still do it with kindness, even though he was our bass instructor, our double bass instructor. And sometimes he would point at us like, that was awful. We'll talk about this in your lesson. Oh crap. but then he would look at the violins, oh, that was so beautiful, but can we make it more beautiful?
Right.
But no, he said he corrected what he needed to correct musically. But if there's ever an issue with people, like personally, that was handled away from everybody else. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I think that's a big learning moment, because there's been times where and I had this mindset: if they bring it up in front of everybody, I'll handle it in front of everybody. But you can't be that way, because then they won't trust you.
Yeah.
And your other team members may not trust you after something like that. And sometimes you have to learn through those mistakes. But yeah, so there is a difference. But you have to set that culture though with the music thing, because if I say, hey, I didn't like that snare, I didn't like that fill, then they're going to be like, because people, when they play music, they take it personal when you don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to say, you have to establish that look, when we go to rehearsal, you may even do this individually. When we go to rehearsal, if I need to correct something, how do you feel when I do this?
Yeah.
I think it's fine. Okay. Well, I just wanted to let you know, or like, I don't know, I get upset. Well, I want to let you know when I do want to correct in front of everybody. Like, we don't need to be pulling everybody aside for music corrections. So we have to have that talk and that conversation coming in. We do that. I usually do that in onboarding now. Like if somebody comes in, I'm like, look, I just want to let you know if there's everything personal, I'll handle it, away. And if there's anything musically, we just handle it right there in rehearsal. I'll never ridicule you for playing something bad. We'll just say, hey, that wasn't good. Let's make it better.
Yeah.
Or that was good, but you need to tighten up on this.
Well, you mentioned trust, and we got to remember we're leading people, not just music. And so I think a worship leader's job is constantly building trust and choosing your battles, learning to trust your volunteers, and picking, using that wisdom of like, okay, what do I need to say? Do I need to say this? And then if I do, how do I need to say it? And sometimes in rehearsal is not the time to say it, because you're in like that performance mode or something, and something may come out a little harsh. I know I do that. And I'll just choose to like jot something down on my phone and like, hey, I'm going to come back to this later. And then later I can decide if like that seemed bigger in the moment or.
Yeah, that's actually a good way to do that as well. Or if you keep a notebook with you, you can even just jot things down quicker. And I don't really do that. I probably should. I try to I try to remember things, and as far as
I'm too old,
and then I will go back to that and just say that. Or sometimes I'm like, look, I'm so sorry, we have to stop. I really want to fix, and I'll explain it in a way of like, this is going to help all of us, and I'll be like, I really want to go ahead and fix this right now.
Yeah.
Keyboard, let's play a little bit less right here. We weren't together on this part, and I really want that to be together. That's going to help us sound incredible.
Yeah.
I guess I try to pull in the big picture of why I'm correcting, because you are working with vulnerable volunteers.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are going to be pretty vulnerable about the way they play, because they're not professional. Professional musicians, you can be like, dude, that sucked.
Right.
Do you know why that sucked? And you'll be like, yeah, dude, I messed it up. My bad. I'll fix it. And you're like, all right, thank you.
Yeah.
Or you'll just look at them and they're like, I know. You're like, all right. And you don't have to have that conversation.
Right.
Like, I know. But they're not professional necessarily. So you may have professionals on your team.
But those who don't, this applies. And I think that's probably the majority.
Yeah. Yep. Even still, if you have professionals, they're not looking at it as a professional gig necessarily, unless you're all just paid. I mean, there's that too. So I don't want to leave anybody out. But
anyway. All right, moving on. Rapid fire this or that questions.
Okay.
You ready?
I won't elaborate.
I mean, you can a little bit. Some of these are meant to elaborate. Okay. Dog or cat?
Dog.
No elaboration needed. I mean, that's just, yes, of course. Okay. In your
cats. Sorry. We have cats too. We have 2 Great Danes and 2 cats.
Okay, that's good. You share.
This or that.
Okay. But I do want to hear your explanation of this. Netflix or YouTube, when you're just watching, you just want to go watch something.
YouTube right now. I'm mad at Netflix. Go ahead.
You're mad at it because they took The Office off or something else?
Yes, and they just suck right now.
Okay.
But yeah.
So it's funny because I think a lot of people still view, because I've had a couple interviews recently and I'll ask this question, and I think you're the second person to say YouTube. And most people say in my response, because mine's YouTube right now, I'll just like, I mean, if I'm gonna turn on the TV, I have all my channels to watch. I'm subscribed to channels and I like to flip through my channels,
I do too. Yeah, man.
And more and more, that's my like entertainment, even if I'm just chilling. But a lot of people still have, I say still, a lot of people have the they're like, well, if I want to relax, I'll just go watch something on Netflix. If I want to learn something, I'll go to YouTube. And in my mind, I'm hoping that it starts changing to where it's like,
it will.
Yeah,
it will. I mean, I watch videos about the helix from Hey Worship Leader when I'm just chilling. I'm like, I will never need this information.
Never.
But his personality is cool. So
yeah, that's right. And the pristine quality of the videos.
Yes. Forgot about that.
It's just the trash.
Especially this dot on the screen. I'm just messing with you.
No, I'm right there with you. Maybe if somebody's watching this part of the video 3 hours into it and they have an extra,
Are we already 3? No, we're 4 hours in now.
They have an extra EOS R with an RF lens that they want to donate to Hey Worship Leader. Just let me know. Connect with me.
Yep. This or that.
Phone call or text?
Phone call.
Phone call.
You know that about me, though.
I do know that about you. Yeah. And I know that our conversations tend to go a long time, much like today's conversation.
That's why I blocked off my entire Friday. I just like to talk. I like to hang out. I mean, there's nothing.
You like to hang out. You named a whole channel after it. Sometimes I'm like in between things. I got like 5 minutes and you'll call and I'll be like,
no, if you can't answer, you can't answer.
I can't pick that up right now because it'll turn into something I can't commit to. But when we do, it's glorious. Yes.
And I get it. I am not offended by any of that.
No. Okay, so cardio or weights? I know the answer, I think.
Yeah, for me, it's cardio. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm a bodybuilder. So, yeah, definitely weights.
Yeah, you ride bikes, right?
I do.
You're a biker. Sir. Okay, so when you want to go chill and you are going to get on social media, it's either going to be Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Which one?
Oh, definitely Instagram out of those.
Yeah.
Twitter, gone. I don't use Twitter ever again.
Me neither.
And then Facebook, I just hate Facebook.
Right.
Can I just say that?
Yeah, you said it. I'm the same way. I got Twitter and I don't ever check it. Every time I think I want to go look at it, or somebody will post something that's like on Twitter, I go to click on it and it's like, would you like to create a new account or log in? And I'm like, no, it's not worth seeing. Okay. And then Facebook, I do have I'm building community in like the worship leader groups, and that's what draws me there. Yeah. And a lot of it's gear based stuff, but and that's usually where I find like the quickest updates when something comes out with like the HX Stomp, or they just release like the XL. It's because of Facebook that I found
that is the only good thing about Facebook.
Yeah, word travels quick, and if it's a good word, then that's a good thing.
Yes.
Music or podcast?
Oh my gosh, bro. Those are my 2 favorite things to listen to. All right.
Wait, let's say
podcast.
Okay.
I listen to a lot of podcasts. I love listening to people talk.
Okay.
But obviously as a musician,
obviously. Yeah.
Lots of music. Yeah.
Do you have like your top 2 podcasts you want to share?
They have nothing to do with worship.
That's great.
I do. It was crazy though. I do listen to my podcast, me and Davin's podcast. I listen to them seriously. Like I will listen to the whole thing, maybe twice, because I just love to listen to us chat about something. But my 2 favorite podcasts right now are Donut Media's Past Gas, and then Ear Biscuits by Rhett and Link.
Oh yeah. I never listened to the podcast, but I watched the YouTube channel.
Those are very entertaining to me. I love to listen to entertaining podcasts, and that's why we've kind of geared our podcast toward that. We still talk about very helpful things, but yeah. Those are my favorites right now. It's subject to change.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
Right.
What else?
Okay, Star Wars or Marvel?
Marvel. Without a doubt. WandaVision. New episode today.
Tonight. I haven't watched it yet. Have you watched it?
I haven't watched it yet either. No.
It's our Friday night thing.
If you'd have said YouTube or Disney.
Oh, that's true. Disney Plus is yeah.
Anyway, it's hard. It's hard to beat.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, one more. This is more like out there. Form or function?
Probably. Oh gosh, that is. I mean, I get kind of where it's going. I think in regards to worship leading and music, I think function is more important. But as a musician, if you don't know the form of the songs, you're going to crumble. So,
yeah.
I mean, I kind of get where you're going. Probably function, because honestly, if it doesn't have a function, like a specific purpose, then I don't want it.
Yeah, that's
but then again, yeah. So I take that in some different ways. I thought you were going to say like NASA or SpaceX or something. I was going to be like, absolutely SpaceX.
Yeah, this or that. And I threw out this big old thing, but I'm the same way. And the reason I bring it up is like pedal boards, and it has to function. Like if it doesn't function, it's useless. But form is very important to me. Like some people will see that I'll have like a Stomp and other pedals. Like, why don't you just get a Helix? And I'm like, because I don't like the way they look. I don't like the idea of having it. I like the look of individual pedals. And so the form as an artist, as someone who takes the beauty of what it looks like it's not just about function for me. But some people aren't wired that way. They're like, just as long as it works and plugs in, I don't care about the way it looks, but we're all wired differently.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely, I have an eye for something that looks prettier, I guess.
And I know that about you. Yeah. I was
but still though, like regardless, like I'm not gonna build a pedal board just because it looks pretty, because
it doesn't work.
Everything you do, the pedal boards, guitars, like, dude, I'm telling you, I love it. But will I ever do that? No. I love the idea of all these little pedals that do something significant, and you're just like, oh, put it on. I love this, how all that works together. But it's all in one little package, and you tailored it to the way you want it. Like, I love that. But I'll never do that because I'm not an electric guitarist. But I do like to play electric guitar from time to time. But I'm just not like, I actually just bought a keyboard. So David and I now have the same keyboard, not because of that, but
what is it?
It's the CP80. Well, I used the CP88 for a while, but that guy came back and got it. But I have a CP73, and David uses a CP73. So the keyboard you're seeing on the screen is a CP73, 73. Yeah. And so I just bought it because I fell in love with it. I used a CP88 for like 7 months straight. It wasn't mine. It belonged to a friend of mine. And he was away for a little bit, and he came back and was like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my keyboard. I got a thing coming up. And I'm like, oh no. And so I was like, I immediately got on the phone with a distributor nearby and was like, hey, I need a keyboard now.
Yeah.
So I have it now, and oh my gosh, I love it so much.
That's awesome.
It's the best thing. So actually, so now I can consider myself a pianist or a keyboardist now.
That's right.
I bought one.
You have your own now.
Our ministry, I have my own now.
We finally got a Nord. It was a 61. That's all we could afford, but it is miles better than what we had. So we're loving that right now. That's all we really
manipulate all those.
Yeah.
Have all your settings. Yeah,
we're using Ableton. The CP, we're using Ableton. So
sorry. I will stop.
There's just enough delay to where we both.
So that would be hilarious.
I need to end this video. Is what we need to do.
Okay.
It's too long.
It's very long.
Thanks for coming on the show. We'll do it again. The show. I called it a show. The Hey Worship Leader Show.
Absolutely, man. Anytime, for real.
We'll do it again. And next time I'll have an actual topic.
Hey, that's fine too. Yeah, I was ready for that, but I like this. This being my first time hanging out with you like this in this setting. I think it's good to leave it a little bit open.
All right, I'll have you back on. Thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe. Check out the links below to Worship Leader Hangout. Listen to the podcast. I wonder if anybody hears this part. Do you think anybody made it this far in the video?
Well, the people listening actually did make it this far, so that's who you're talking to.
If you've listened to it, if you hear me now,
they definitely did, because they hear you right now.
Congratulations. Thank you. See you later. Bye.